Okay. Hello, my dear students. This unit 9, Crime Doesn't Pay, Part 1. Okay. Now we'll introduce some new words about this unit. The first word is valuable. Valuable means expensive. Again, valuable means expensive. Number 2, suspect. Suspect means a person believed to have committed a crime or done something wrong. Admit is an opposite of deny. Admit means to tell people that you did something, that you tell that you do something wrong. Deny is an opposite of it, which means to tell the people that you didn't do this thing. Admit is an opposite of deny. Fingerprints, the marks made on something by the end of someone's finger. Crime writer, it's a person who writes stories about the crime. Investigate, to search for information. Theft, it's a noun, means the crime of stealing something. The crime of stealing something. This is the person who steals, which is called thief. Evidence, proof. Inspect, to search for someone. This is a verb. And the noun of it, inspector. Guilty, responsible for breaking a law. Suspicious, making you feel that something illegal is happening or that something is wrong. Break into means to enter something or the place by force illegally. When I say the robber break into the bank. Detective, a police officer who tries to solve a problem, who helps the police to solve a problem. Like Sherlock Holmes. Clue, something that helps to solve a puzzle or mystery. Okay, that's all of our new words today. Valuable, suspect, admit, deny, fingerprints, crime writer, investigate, theft, evidence, inspect, guilty, suspicious, break into, and detective. Now we'll have an exercise about the new words. Choose from 1 to 10. Number 1, the police were suspicious, my brother. Yes, suspicious of. Number 2, some has entered the supermarket to check the goods are good. Inspectors. Number 3, they serve the most food in this restaurant, so I always come here. Incredible. Mean wonderful. Some questions here are repeated in the second part of this exercise. Number 4, I have got a, where Ali is. I have got a clue where Ali is. Okay. We can't cut this meat because the knife is, yes, blunt. Blunt is an opposite of sharp. Number 6, the criminal was found guilty, so he was to 20 years in prison. Yes, sentenced. Number 7, is someone who sees a crime or an accident happen or has information. And yes, a person who sees the crime, a witness. Yes. Number 8, the man pushed a woman over and ate her bag. Yes, and stole her bag, not robbed, because it's a thing that he stole. Number 9, they consist of 10 thieves, a group of thieves, the gang. And number 10, so he looked suspicious, he was not found. Yes, guilty, means that he didn't do anything. Now, our grammar today is about the third conditional of if. We know we have the 0, the first, the second, and the third conditional. The form of the third conditional is past perfect, and then the second part of the sentence would have plus the past participle of the verb. It expresses the situations that are impossible to change because they are in the past and already happened. It means that you regret to do something. Okay. Also, we know that unless equal if no. If we see in the second example, unless they equal if not, he had been clever, he wouldn't have answered the question. In the first example, if Ahmed had had enough money, it's had in the past perfect, he would have bought a car. Were I rich, I would build a car. Okay, I wish he had cleaned the house yesterday. Here, I wish is the past perfect after I wish because the sentence indicates in the past yesterday. Okay, here we have another thing which is mean omission of if. Okay, when in the first and the second conditional, when we omit if, we put should. Okay, or we sometimes put where if it is if I were you as an advice, as in this example. If I were rich, I would buy a car. So when I omit if, I say were I rich, I would buy a car. But if it is a second conditional, as it is, we put should in the first and in the second. In the third conditional, as we said today, when we omit if, we put had and the past participle of the verb as it is. If we see in the first example, if Ahmed had had enough money, when I omit if, I say had Ahmed had enough money and complete the sentence. Okay. There is another grammatical rule which is I wish. I wish means that you can or you want things to be different from what they are. Okay. If the sentence is in the present, I use I wish in the past. And if the sentence is in the past, I use I wish in the past perfect. As I see, the meaning is that you want things to be different from what they are. The past instead of the present, and the past perfect instead of the past. Would instead of will. In the example, I wish I knew his name now, but I don't. In the second one, I wish he wouldn't leave, but he will. Okay. Here we have in grammar on page 6 about these rules. Okay, the first one. We had no money to buy the shirts. I want to use if. Here, if in the past, so I use the third conditional. So I say, if we had enough money, we would have bought the shirt. The second one, Rania always gets up late, so she never catches the school bus. Here, the sentence in the present, so I use it in the second conditional. So I said, if Rania got up early, not late, early, she would catch the school bus. Number 4, this is the number 3, but here we have 4. Okay, our classroom doesn't have any windows. If only equal wish. Okay, if only equal wish. And the sentence in the present, so I use if only in the past. So I said, if only our classroom had windows. Number 5, I didn't attend the important meeting. I want to use I wish. Here the sentence is the past, so I use I wish, and then the tense is the past perfect. So I said, I wish I had attended the important meeting. Number 6, without your help, we would lose. I want to use unless. Unless you helped us, we would lose. Number 7, my father didn't book a room in a hotel, so we didn't travel to Cairo. I want to use had. This is the omission of if, but in the third condition. So I said, had my brother booked a room in a hotel, we would have traveled to Cairo. This is the second part of this unit. Okay. The second page here it is. If I had my father booked a room in a hotel, we would have traveled to Cairo. Number 8, this is the number 7. Without blood banks, many people would die. I want to use here if there, not if it. So I said, if there weren't blood banks, many people would die. Number 8 and number 9 in the booklet. I'd like to be able to help him. I want to use I wish. Yes, I wish I could help him, because able equal can. Number 10, I regret not listening to my father's advice. If not here, if condition that we won't use if only. So I said, if only I had listened to my father's advice. Okay, that's all for our part. Thank you and goodbye.